When you get in your car, remember to use your common sense. Buckle up and drive the speed limit.
So if you have relatives there, you may want to warn them to look out for lightning and maybe even some possible tornadoes. In the surrounding areas, the green is some heavy rain, and over here in the blue and purple is a mix of some ice and snow. Thanks, Vanessa. We have Anthony Zoller from Zoller Law Group and Stuart Waldman from a Southern California advocacy agency. Have you had any cases relating to this yet? The headlines these days are full of environmental hazards all around us. In recent news, we've heard about the massive oil spill in the ocean waters off Huntington Beach here behind me.
You're up.
City Plants is an organization that hosts events to plant trees across Los Angeles, especially in neighborhoods without a lot of tree cover. Gina Ranieri works for the city's sanitation department, which helps with the tree planting.
You're physically healthier when you live in a green neighborhood.
She says City Plants targets areas near schools and parks.
A child that lives in an area with trees is 3 times less likely to visit the ER for asthma than a child that does not have any street trees in their neighborhood.
Planting trees also provides shade.
We really target neighborhoods that don't have a good tree canopy and try to complete that canopy because trees can reduce the temperature by like 15 to 20 degrees. So if it's 80 degrees out, it can feel 75 degrees in the shade.
Arborist Robert Castaneda from LA Conservation Corps assists tree planting events to inspect the area that they are being planted in and make sure they aren't interfering with power lines above or pipelines underground.
Planting height is one of the most important things. You can't change it later on. Once it's in the ground, it's in the ground.
City Plants hopes to reduce air pollution caused by environmental hazards and vehicle traffic throughout Los Angeles.
We're just putting a lot of carbon out into our atmosphere, but the only piece of technology that exists in the world to remove that carbon from the air is trees.
For more information on events or to find out how to get involved, visit online at cityplants.org. Reporting in Sun Valley, I'm Alahna Martinez. Going to the racetrack can be a hobby or just a fun thing to do on weekends for some people. But for the Bryan family, it's a lifestyle.
Driving is mostly a family thing we do together, something we do with my kids.
Glenn taught his sons Kyle and Cody how to race when they were just 7 years old, and they've been racing ever since.
It's like my happy place, you could say, almost. It's where I feel comfortable. Everything else from the outside world just kind of goes away.
Cold, rainy days like this are ideal because the dirt is wet and creates a better traction for the tires. But rain or shine, the most important thing to learn before getting on the track is safety.
We have a 2-layer fire suit to prevent if you do catch on fire. It helps make sure you don't catch on fire, just a suit. There's racing gloves, racing shoes, helmet.
You're up.
I'm Alahna Martinez. Anthony, there was a recent video circulating online of a customer in New York that got into a physical altercation with a hostess at a restaurant. Do you see these type of situations coming up more and more?
Yeah, as Stuart said too, I agree. You know, it puts the employers in a difficult position to verify the vaccination status. How do they do that? What proof? I was just before we got on this video, I was looking at the County of LA has published some documents on how to verify vaccination status, and it sounds easy, but then there's a lot of unknowns there, and especially if a foreign traveler comes in, they're going to have a different looking documentation.
Do you think that it will become the new norm for businesses to require proof of vaccination, or do you think that as the cases start dwindling down, they'll lift those requirements?
Well, I hope that I hope we're on the tail end of this. I'm hoping that having kids vaccinated will help. I mean, you're always going to have people who are deniers, anti-vaxxers, and you know, there's nothing you can do to change their minds. But once we get a handle on the numbers, you know, I'm hoping by January that we don't have to wear masks again.
Well, I appreciate you guys for coming on the show.
It was really insightful input from both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us, and go Matadors.
You're watching On Point. We'll be right back.